Hello and thank you for watching Access Asia on France 24. Coming up, a ball-tampering scandal rocks Australian cricket, tarnishing the reputation of the side, its players, and its staff. And Pakistan has its first ever transgender news anchor. Marvia Malik says she still faces challenges but will not give up her fight against discrimination. And China's obesity struggle is weighing down business. Now companies are offering financial incentives for losing weight. And we begin in Australia, where cricket is reeling over a ball-tampering crisis. Skipper Steve Smith and senior batsman David Warner have been banned from the sport for 12 months. The scandal has rocked the sport and dragged the side's reputation through the mud.
It's been dubbed Sandpaper Gate, and it's rocked Australia to its core, tainting its beloved sport of cricket and ruining the reputations of some of its most celebrated athletes. It all started during a lunch break on the third day of a 5-day test match with South Africa. Australia was losing, and team captain Stephen Smith and other senior players came up with a plan to rough up one side of the ball with sandpaper. Unfortunately, the ball tampering was discovered, leading to a round of teary mea culpas from those involved.
I know I'll regret this for the rest of my life. I'm absolutely gutted. I hope in time I can earn back respect and forgiveness.
Yes, I lied. I lied about the sandpaper, and I panicked. I panicked in that situation, and I'm very sorry.
I take full responsibility for my part in what happened, and I am deeply sorry for the consequences of what I was involved in.
Smith and vice captain David Warner have each been given a year-long suspension from the game. The pair have also lost contracts worth around $2 million after the Indian Premier League banned them from playing in this year's tournament. Batsman Cameron Bancroft has received a 9-month suspension for his role in the plan. For the cricket-mad Australians, the scandal has sparked widespread anger and disappointment, even prompting the Australian Prime Minister to weigh in.
They now have to make sure that this great national game, this great international game, that is synonymous with fair play, is once again a game that is played by champions that everybody can look up to. I mean, this has been a shocking affront to Australia.
But it may take a while for fans to trust the players again.
As a cricketer fan, I think it's just a dead end to the whole of Australia, you know.
Well, we're all disgusted, and we have not the first team to ever have done anything, but we seem to be the ones that are taking more action than anyone else has.
The scandal has also claimed coach Darren Lehman, who's announced his resignation. It's clear the Australian cricket team has a lot of work to do to repair its battered reputation.
In Pakistan, the trans community is legally recognized but remains marginalized. The country took a major step in the right direction when former model Marvia Malik became the country's first transgender news anchor. Luke Shrego takes a closer look.
On air, this is no ordinary journalist. As a former model, Marvia has no fear of cameras, but rather the direct gaze of other people. Born male in a conservative family, she's Pakistan's first transgender TV presenter.
I face challenges on a daily basis as there is a lack of acceptance within my family and also a lack of acceptance in society, so the challenges are part of daily life now.
Pakistan has recognised the existence of a third sex, including transgender, cross-dressing and eunuchs since 2009. However, they're still treated as pariahs and often reduced to begging or prostitution. A destiny Marvia refused to accept.
She said, "Don't look at my gender, rather see my talent." So we moved forward, exploring, and started asking questions.
It was a brave decision, one largely applauded by viewers in Lahore.
It's a positive step taken by Kohinoor to hire a transgender person. In our society, they are perceived negatively and are not given the work opportunities a common citizen has.
Marvia won't stay in journalism forever. She wants to create an NGO that fights against discrimination and maybe one day her own TV channel.
Obesity is a major health concern in Europe and the United States, and increasingly so in the world's most populous country. In China, more than 140 million people are classified as obese. That's more than twice the total population of France. Now, some companies have decided to take the matter into their own hands. Emerald Maxwell explains.
China has a weight problem, but not all the Chinese are taking it sitting down. Determined to shift the extra pounds, those who can afford the 1,200 euros a month are joining fitness classes like this one.
I weigh 125 kilos. I'd like to be 85.
103 kilos, stressed, obese, and single. I had to do something.
Bumping the United States off the top spot, China can now boast more overweight people than anywhere else in the world. In a nation of 1.4 billion, 10.8% of men and nearly 15% of women are obese. But health consciousness is growing, as is the market for weight loss products like this tea, with advertisers jumping on the bandwagon. In Xi'an, a company boss has decided to tackle the problem. 6 months ago, he started a financial incentive scheme to persuade his staff to slim down. Once a month, his 25 employees are weighed in.
Yay, I've lost weight.
I'm 64.7 kilos.
You've lost 1.5 kilos since last month.
Great, I can buy new clothes now.
Shopping's on the cards because for every kilo they lose, employees get a cash bonus.
When you watch your waistline, you're healthier and you work better.
And that theory seems to be working. Since the introduction of the scheme, the firm's employees have taken fewer sick days and their results have improved. With a 200 yuan or 26 euro incentive per kilo lost, everyone here is playing along.
Here, you've lost 1.5 kilos, so I owe you 38 euros.
Thanks.
In 6 months, you've lost 50 kilos.
I got a 166 euro bonus in my first month for losing 6.5 kilos.
Zoe and her colleague are rethinking their lifestyle and now make healthier choices at their usual lunch spot.
Look, we got beef and a cucumber salad. When we go home, we're always on our phone or computer. People of my generation are always sitting down. We do very little sport.
But that may be starting to change. Their company's incentive has also inspired them to take up exercise, and they now work out almost every day at this gym. It's another new phenomenon in China, where just 30 years ago, obesity was practically non-existent.
And staying in China, over the past generation, more and more people have moved into urban areas, the biggest of which is Chongqing, home to more than 30 million people. Mario Sofos takes a look at a city that is bigger than some European countries.
A city of extremes in the heart of China, standing at the foot of the mountains, a jungle of concrete and steel as far as the eye can see. Chongqing, a Chinese megalopolis, the same size as Austria. A vast city of skyscrapers. On the 29th floor of this building lives Luo Dawan, a retiree. He has always lived in the city and has witnessed firsthand the huge changes that have come about here.
We call Chongqing the mountain village. We see the shadow of the mountain from far away, and the new buildings loom above constantly. This gives the city a new face. It's remarkable. The buildings are multiplying like mushrooms that sprout after the rain.
Looking at black and white photos of the city from the 1980s, it's apparent that things just aren't the same. The story of Chongqing is one of unfettered growth. Today, the city is home to 34 million people. Far from large eastern cities like Beijing or Shanghai, Chongqing covers an area of 82,000 kilometers squared, the largest urban area in the world. 300,000 new residents arrive each year. Largely, they're farm workers who come from the surrounding poor rural areas. And never mind if the work's exhausting. For them, Chongqing has become El Dorado.
I've worked here for over 10 years. Before that, I worked in the fields.
Life's much better here than where I'm from. So much better.
Along with those seeking the fruits of urban living, many work on the city's vast construction sites. There are 3,000 workers on this site alone, a Herculean task headed by a developer from Singapore.
It's a very huge project. The total area is 1.1 million square meter. This 6 tower is 250 meter tall, and the one in front is 350 meter tall.
A horizontal tower that is set to become the new defining landmark of the city. Residents like Luo Dewan give a glimpse into Chongqing's less frenetic past. But there can be no doubt, it is a city that has been on the move for quite some time, and one almost unparalleled as a feat of human grandeur.
And finally, a child's education advocate has created a library on wheels in war-torn Afghanistan. Every day, the bus library carries more than 500 books around the capital, takes it to 4 or 5 different locations, attracting about 200 children every day. There are only 12 public libraries in the city, which serve some 5 million people. And the project was founded by 25-year-old Freshta Karim, who said she grew up without access to a library because of war. Nice, heartwarming story there. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned to France 24.